All right, what's up, YouTube? So, I'm going to come on here and make this short little video because this one particular incident reminded me of a very evident fact here of something that's obvious and it's right in front of us. You know, we're getting really good at detecting patterns, right? Well, one pattern that I've noticed is that everybody involved in this program, right? Doing the gang stalking or who's doing the illegal surveillance, and you know, whoever's complicit in this program, every one of them is in a position of some kind of power, right? Whether it just be the knowledge that they have or some kind of power they have over other people in some way, shape, or form. And in every case, the people that are involved in this and complicit with this, they are abusing their power. That is one very obvious fact that we can determine, that everybody involved in this is abusing power. Okay, and they can't be trusted. They have no integrity. They can't be trusted to be in some kind of position of power, or they can't be trusted with that power. They can't be trusted to be a public servant. Public servants are supposed to, to be able to have the people's best interests and also be able to respect other people's rights, everybody's rights, the people's rights, not just individual people, but the people's rights in general. And that is a crucial key thing that is supposed to be evident if you're a public servant or if you're in any kind of position of power. You have to have integrity, but how is anybody checking that integrity? There's no integrity checker. Power corrupts. We've seen it time and time again. And because, just like your kids, if you let your kids, do something and you don't actually make them, give them the full consequences of their actions, you can talk to them till they're blue in the face, till you're blue in the face, and you can think that they hear you, you can think that they're learning something, but they're not. The only true lessons learned in life are through experiences and through consequences, through failure, So when you explain to your kids, if you do this, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna face these consequences. Most times they don't listen. You can tell them, but it's not sinking in. The only way to actually ensure that they are going to remember what you're telling them, anytime they come up against something in life, is if they go through that. If they go through something, then they understand what it means to have to accept consequences of your actions. Only then can you make good decisions. If you weigh the consequences, Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law says if it can happen, even if it's the slightest chance, if it can happen, it will happen. It's inevitable at some point. Doesn't matter the probability of it. And when you use Murphy's Law in your decision making, you make a lot better decisions. It might not be as fun. You might not choose to do things that you probably should have done. So you have to use Murphy's Law when making a decision. That doesn't mean you have to make the right decision every time. You have to make mistakes. You have to mess up. It's the only way you can learn. You have to. I mean, I don't care. You're not going to tell me any other way that there's people that know all this and they never had to make a mistake. These people that are perfect, if they never made a mistake. No. It's very rare. I'm sorry. If they are, then they're a higher power already. They're on a much higher level. Okay? But there's people who, throughout life, you learn these things the hard way. And it happens, it sucks, but hey, you're alive. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You learn from your mistakes. We need to quit holding mistakes against people. Quit holding these things over people's heads. If they make a mistake, depending on if they learned or not. If they learned their mistake, okay. But when somebody is in a position of power and they're abusing that power against the person, right? Like this guy right here. And this is like very bad in police. This is a problem that we're having, that we're seeing everywhere with all cops. All cops are complicit. If they're complicit, then they're guilty. If they know this goes on and they protect their fellow officers that they know do this, they're worse. They're not only no better than that person, they're worse. They are worse than the person they're protecting. So this guy, they're creeps. The people that are involved in this shit, they're creeps. They're all creeps. It really seems that way. That they're all people that are, they don't have willpower. They have power, but not willpower. They know right from wrong, but they don't have the power to do the right thing. They don't have the courage to do the right thing. No, they're cowards. And they're sick in the head. And they need help. Not targeted individuals. Targeted individuals are the help. If you haven't already figured it out, targeted individuals are the ones that are, we're here to help everybody else. It really seems that way. Because we already know this stuff, and it's not like this. I don't think that this is being done to us. I think it's being done for everybody, and we're involved. But it's because, it's not. Stop looking at it like it's a thing against you, and start looking at it like something you're involved in, where you have an opportunity to make a difference, make a positive difference, and for society as a whole. Okay, if you can, because you're being followed and illegally surveilled, right, and because people are judging you, you have an opportunity there to teach people valuable lessons in life. So do it. You're presented with an opportunity that most people don't ever have. That it's a very, rare opportunity. We're in a very unique position right now, where there's a bunch of people looking at us, right? And we can make a big difference. We can show the people looking at us that, the right thing, and try to teach them, show them what they're doing wrong, and they'll see it. I mean, because if you ever hear the saying, whenever you remind your spouse or your significant other, if you bring something up and they get mad and they say, "Quit, you're making me feel bad. You're making me feel bad." Well, no, that's the wrong way to look at it. If you feel bad about something, it's because you should feel bad about it. Nobody's making you feel any way just because they bring up the truth. The truth is the truth, period. You have to realize that. So, like for my brother, when I talk about stuff that happened in the past, it's the truth, okay? My intentions aren't to make you mad or just to make people look down on you. No, it's to get you, Ed, to see the truth and to reflect on what happened in the past. Maybe there's a different perspective. Maybe I'm seeing things wrong from my point of view. But stop denying the truth. When you accept the truth and then actually, you have to speak it out loud. You have to say, this happened, or I made a mistake here. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Only when you do these things and you self-reflect can you become a better version of yourself. Can you overcome? If not, you're stuck, dude. You're done, and you're stuck, and you're going to be overwhelmed and consumed by the negative energies, okay? The negative shit that is it's your prison. You're in prison. You're a slave to that. You are a slave to the lie. The truth will set you free. I promise. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to judge you for your mistakes. Not at all. And if they do, fuck them. Fuck them. Tell them to eat a bag of dicks. Who cares? It still doesn't affect you, no matter what they think. But you yourself can become a better person for your kids, for anybody else who you have influence over, and for yourself, to be a better person, to make a difference, a positive difference in the world in the future. You don't want to be the person that everybody looks at and says, "What happened? Why, he's a dick. Like, what happened? Why is he like that?" Right? You have to ask that same question. Why are people looking at me like that? Why do they think that about me? And you have to, don't get mad about it, but understand why. Because when you look at it from their perspective, their point of view, maybe you'll be able to see your mistakes or what you're doing and why it's wrong, what you're doing. So I'm not going to make this about my brother. But anyway, this is a story I came across with an obvious abuse of power, okay? And I'm not against cops, okay? I have nothing against police. We need police, we do. But there are a lot of cops. I'm just going to say it how it is. It's obvious that most cops, not even some, most cops are complicit, and they haven't done the right thing. They might do the right thing 95% of the time, but that other 5%, that still exists. It's not like you wouldn't get in trouble if you broke the law only 5% of the time. No, you still get in trouble for breaking the law, right? So they're expected to have integrity and do the right thing 100% of the time, especially when no one's looking. That's the point of integrity, to do the right thing whenever nobody's looking, especially when no one's looking. When there's no other influence on you, the only thing is your conscience to do the right thing. You could do the wrong thing and get away with it, and you know this, but you still choose to do the right thing because it's right. It's the harder thing to do, right? It's hard, much harder. So these people doing the other thing are the cowards. They're scared. They're pitiful, weak cowards. Simple as that. So this guy here, he's scared that he'll get rejected and he'll have to find another girlfriend, right? Or he's scared that his buddies on the police force are going to make fun of him if he gets dumped, right? If his pretty girlfriend dumps him. He's scared of all these things, right? So what's he do? He abuses his power, and pay attention to the tactics that he uses here, okay? It's real familiar to what they tactics that they use against targeted individuals here. So pay attention here.
A Pennsylvania state officer is suspended and facing felony charges after abusing his position. Ronald K. Davis is facing charges of strangulation and committing his ex-girlfriend to a psychiatric facility. Davis is accused of using his position in law enforcement to have her committed without authorization from his supervisor. State police say Davis was suspended without pay as soon as the charges against him were filed.
Get off of me! You just called the cops on me for existing!
A Pennsylvania state trooper has been arrested for allegedly restraining a woman and having her improperly committed to a mental health facility. The district attorney of Dauphin County says this video shows Ronald Davis, while off duty, using substantial force against a woman who begged him to be released.
4 months after meeting you, I get tackled.
According to the affidavit, Davis admitted the woman was his ex-girlfriend. The district attorney says he also has a wife and children. Investigators also allege he obtained an involuntary commitment for the woman under the Mental Health Procedures Act after revealing text messages between him and the woman, which he claimed showed that she was suicidal. An investigation by state troopers alleges that Davis omitted context of the conversation in order to obtain the commitment authorization. The woman was involuntarily committed to a hospital for 5 days before it was determined that she was rational and the commitment was improper. Davis is charged with strangulation, unlawful restraint causing serious bodily injury, false imprisonment, simple assault, official oppression, and reckless endangerment. He's been suspended without pay from his job. An attorney for Davis said it is, quote, deeply troubling that a state trooper since 2015 would be denied bail for these allegations. He says he has filed a motion for a bail hearing later this week. He added that, quote, regarding the allegations, we're confident once all of the facts come to light that we will establish Mr. Davis committed no crime.
Yeah, right. Okay, so, I mean, look, I don't know. We don't know their allegations, right? But we saw that video. The video clearly breaks the law and everything. Okay, so now you've seen what they said. He took her words out of context, out of a conversation. So no integrity, right? They're not allowed to, to hide information that would help the defendant, taking stuff out of context. He omitted some of the conversation so that he could present it as her being crazy or something, right? So I'm not sure what he did with the conversation, but that's what he used to then get this authorization to have her committed. Okay, and obviously he abused his power up and down, left, right, back and forth, fucking 10 times from Sunday. Every way, shape, or form, and she just wants the creep to let her go. But when they get in positions like relationships like this, they're the controlling ones. They beat their old ladies and they scare them into submission. They use fear and they use the tactics that are instilled in their training, and they abuse this because that's something should be entrusted to only those few who have the integrity, And we need more transparency to ensure that our public safety and all that can be entrusted in the people that we give that power to. We're not sure right now. We're not at all. It's far from that. So we need some things. We definitely need some things to rebuild the trust in police. And police don't like that. They get mad about it. Make my job harder. Well, pick a different job then. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize the importance of the power that you have. You don't realize, I don't think these people realize how life-changing that, it is when you have a situation where the police officer does the wrong thing, doesn't do his job, and violates your rights, your constitutional rights, not to mention your human rights, your God-given human rights. And then not only that, in order to cover his own tracks, then they smear your name and they go even further to damage your reputation and everything else. It's just, we need something needs to be done because it's obviously gotten way out of hand. And with, as far as the program, the targeted individual program, that is evidence in itself of how far out of hand it got and just how bad the problem is and how many people need our help. How many people out there are creeps and are not doing the right thing. It's mind-blowing that how hard this is to get it out and to get people to believe it. I don't know if it's that hard to get people to believe it. It's just they're just being manipulated because there's so many people involved in the manipulation. That's the crazy part I can't wrap my brain around. It's just how many fucking people are actually knowingly doing this. And they know what they're doing is wrong. And they might not know the full extent of the program and everybody involved and all that, but they know they're part of something that's not right. And they know that they made the wrong decision. They know they can't go back. The only way to go forward is to admit what they did, admit the truth, and then do the right thing. It's going to be even harder now, but those are going to be the heroes, the people that come out and do that hard thing after doing the wrong thing. That's going to be, I'm going to have more respect for those people than anybody on this planet. It doesn't matter what you did. If you made the wrong decision, if you're involved in this and you're doing something wrong, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. All that matters now is what you do moving forward. That's all that matters now. They're not going to be able to prosecute or punish everybody involved in this. There's no way. It's not going to happen. So, I think it's time you hurry up while you can and do the right thing. Be the hero that you wanted to be. Be that person that you expected to be and you set out to be when you signed up for the job you're doing. And then it's be the hardest decision you probably ever made in your life, and it's not going to be easy, and you're going to get ridiculed and you're going to get pushed back, but that's the point. But just if you know in your heart and you know in your head that it's the right thing to do, that's because it's the right thing to do. All that's left is for you to pull the trigger and do it. Just do it. You'll be a fucking hero. So this guy here is sick. He really needs help. He really, But I don't think that this is a isolated incident. I think that there are lots and lots and lots of people in positions of power like this that are in the same mental capacity as this guy. The same, the same perspectives, they would do the same thing. They do the same thing. You could talk to many people who date police officers who could tell these stories all day and all night, It's sad when you start listening to all of them, just how many people are out there that got violated by people like this. Who's protecting them now? Who's protecting the victims now? If the person that's supposed to be protecting the victims is the fucking perpetrator, what do you do? Something needs to be done. The people need to stand up. The people need to make a bunch of fucking noise. Sorry, something needs to change. Something needs done. So with that being said, this fucking Davis piece of shit, dude, I hope they give you what you deserve when you're in there. And I'm glad they didn't give you any bail. You shouldn't get it because you have an intimate knowledge of the system. If they give you bail, you'll bail out, and then you'll be able to manipulate the system even more and you're probably going to go right back to that ex-girlfriend, and you're going to punish her. You're going to try to do the wrong thing again. They have to make sure that you don't have the ability to do that because you're a special case. You have a power. You have the knowledge you have and the training you have gives you an advantage over everybody. You're a flight risk. You're a special case. You should not get bail. Sorry, because based on what I saw, it's. I hope they throw the book at you. I really do, because I can only imagine what you did behind closed doors. So, be good or be good at it. Peace out.